What was that scroll I just picked up? I was not paying attention. Enchant armor. That's not going to cut it. With the mark trap as well, we're definitely going to retreat for the moment here. Let's let these kiddos come to us. All the snakes, of course, are the fastest. Ooh, hello, Azul. Do you do anything new or fancy? No, it doesn't look to be the case, so I think we'll be okay with you. And yeah, we will switch to the hat if necessary. At the moment, I don't know, I feel like the 3 armor class that our current hat is kind of winning with in that category. Makes me a little hesitant. What? We're gonna make some friends. How do you like being constricted, huh? Oh, right. Friendships don't last long when you start murdering said companions. Now, these things happen, though. Fine by me. So, an artifact serpent talisman, still probably not going to be too intriguing for us at the moment here. Okay, we can start rampaging through the rest of these snakes. Looks like we've taken care of everything the mark trap kind of through our direction here, at least in the initial onslaught, so that is lovely. Let's run away. I'm being wary of the new construction, though, because I'm working off of vague recollections of a patch note that I glanced at, but I believe I saw that while blinking now always escapes from constriction, wahoo, the flip side of it is that breaking it naturally or moving out of it has become harder, I believe. And so that's why I didn't try to escape up the stairs right away, and I was kind of locked into a, oh gosh, we have to fight this duel to the death. But hey, it worked out, so happy to see it. And this is where we definitely change out our hats. I mean, I like the look of our kind of fancy wear here, so I wish that I could wear this hat for the entirety of the run, but unfortunately, while fashion does in many ways, shapes, and forms reign supreme, rather, I do have to be slightly cognizant of necessity, unfortunately. Ooh-wee. Oh my gosh, and there's another one. Oh, and those force lances I have no resistance against. I should have gone out of here a long time ago. Long time ago. I can still remember how my stupidity almost got me killed. Oof, okay, well, resetting, we should be fine. We were able to fight these sons of guns. Okay, never mind. Apparently it would be just as close against 2 of them as it was against 7. But we get there eventually. Never don't hit. Oh my gosh, that is quite the staff. Cold resistance? Nah, probably doesn't make the cut. An interesting prospect for an offhand weapon, though. Given some strength, gain some resistances, spells that I'm never going to touch, so that's not quite as relevant, but still, I guess, something to mention. It definitely exists. Okie dokie, well, let's continue through and hope that we face slightly fewer near-death experiences as the run goes on. If I could get you to join me, perfect. That is exactly what I was hoping for, my tyrannical friend. Perfect. Oh, didn't realize my laptop decided that now is the time to shut down. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. If I put this here, what does that look like? Does that pull you off of me? It does. Take you upstairs. You have reflection brand? That's fine. I do not mind at all. Okay, so tambourine can save me from constriction, which was something I was musing about in my head as we kind of initially came down here. But glad to have that confirmed. Still terrified slightly on how things will go here, but glad to claw back some semblance of confidence here. And we'll just play this floor very safe since we're kind of getting overwhelmed. Can see that our defenses are definitely lacking. Again, not helped by the fact that getting fire resistance comes at the expense of some of our other options here, or some of our defense is what I'm actually trying to say, is my brain frantically fills in the blanks. Essentially, half the time when I'm talking, there's a weird game of Mad Libs going on, where if I blank for even a moment on what I'm trying to say, my brain's like, oh, here's a word. Is it the word that you're looking for? Probably not, but it is a word. Hi, Susan. So lovely to see you here, my friend. Oh, 19% to make you my friend is the best charming I've ever seen on something of your caliber at this stage in the game. Interesting. Yeah, Hydras are kind of the bane of our existence right now. We're going to be chopping heads off much more than we are killing them. Our Mind Burst deals some pretty wild damage if we can get it to proc a few times. I guess, can I charm summons? Only one good way to find out. I can. I mean, Susan can abjure, so that's where that kind of falls by the wayside. But, okay, I can grab a tambourine if I have to. We're gonna see. In fact, I think this is a good opportunity for at least one blast of Quicksilver, because that's pretty high damage as well, and that is fantastic. Holy moly. Okay, we get our elect from our thingy, so probably don't need the Storm Dragon scales. Wow, it'd be nice to be up at 27 AC, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to make the cut for us here. That's wild. How the fight went in general, or the fact that at all we're able to contend with by Susan at this stage in the game, because that's what's definitely shocking me at the moment. I expected that to be a little bit more of a drawn-out battle of attrition. Mind Blast into victory? Well, that's the thing. As a Coglin, we have an assortment of random facts that people find intriguing, so we're just blowing minds left and right here. In fact, maybe Evo just stays on for the rest of the game? One of the rare games where we'll see that fully maxed out, which would be pretty sweet. Hello, Ezreal. I'm going to Serpent Slash into you, my friend, and I think before you get too much damnation off, we can right your wrongs. Fantastic. And some way, somehow, we're doing it. Yeah, I do just have to Mind Blast Hydras, though. It's our only answer to that unfortunate problem. Oh my gosh, why does the game think we're in Swamp here all of a sudden? Have I seen the new Macleb Mark system? No, I've not. I saw Macleb was in the list of gods that got overhauled, but I have not checked out any of their changes. Besides, I think I might have breezed over a reference to Minor and Major Destruction got combined and Minor and Major Servant, but I didn't actually read what else kind of got changed there. What are your thoughts on that new mark system? Is it a pretty big, like, fundamental change? Just something minor for the background? I do think Macleb was probably overdue for a little bit of a revamp. I was still enjoying them, but not. They've kind of fallen from favor for me, at least when compared to kind of how I used to enjoy playing them. Wait, so I can't really control... Oh, I just picked which wall I jump off of. Okay. But yeah, since they used to be very focused on the blood aspect and regaining health, a bit less though, of course, Genie, I'll still go with McLeb every time, but do we just leave this fight? Oh, definitely. It's more of a question of how do we leave this fight? Specifically, with this son of a gun ruining my life, we only have one blink scroll. It's not grand, for sure. Potentially butterflies, I guess. I guess these hasted sons of guns might still catch me. No, it looks like their haste just ran out in the nick of time. I think I get away here. Yeah, no problems whatsoever. Haste pot could have been an option there as well. Would have meant one more turn sitting there, which would have been sketchy, but not necessarily the end of the world. I think the main problem, though, is that haste doesn't diminish the dangers we were facing from the swamp worm. Getting like harpooned in was still very much in the back of my mind. Could I have tambourined though? I didn't think about tambourine. That last arrow hit scared me. Oh, me too. But to a certain extent, my benefit is I'm used to the fact that I play like a maniac. I can't imagine coming in and watching some of the just truly abysmally reckless stuff that I participate in. Holy. Okay, Agnes. You are scarier than I was giving you credit for in the moment there. I tambourine you. You're pinned by gravity at least for but a moment. I feel like one good mind blast. Okay, 2 good mind blasts. Does do the trick. Fantastic. Oh, me oh my. But no, I was trying to kind of not emphasize the dangers of those last arrow shots in my head, but definitely was on my mind because they were hasted. So we actually could have taken multiple shots and had to contend with that. Okay. Where is our many-tentacled friend? Definitely escape before the guardian serpent gets any funny ideas in their head. Perfect. And what else can we do? I guess we can, yeah, do some throwing here. Try to engage in just a little bit of damage as they approach. What is this mini swamp indeed? It's driving me crazy because I'm not set up for swamp. It's not how this character does their thing. But hey, I guess it is what it is, and all we can do is blast our way through it to the best of our abilities, which, to be fair, is going all right here so far. Saint Roca. Gadagast. Venom War Axe. Would I prefer that over my current one? Probably not, especially since it would take all of our enchant weapon scrolls to get it up to the same level. I don't love the electricity brand, but c'est la vie. Fortunately, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Okay, let's take you kiddos to the stairwell so that we at least have an escape if things start to go poorly. Which we shall see, I guess. How much that ends up being relevant. Roca? Did you just abandon your whole following there? I feel like that could not have been the nicest way to deal with things here. Well, I'm just going to blow your mind a few times, I think. We have our tambourine. If things go horribly wrong, tambourine goes out and frees up the stairwell. I think that's going to be a very common use case for me with the grav tambourine, is just being able to fully, like, safely escape. No questions asked. From melee commands at the very least, so I do like that. Ooh-wee. Oh. Oh. Uh-huh. What do we do here? I think we Serpent's Lash. Oh, if we don't get to move, the lash doesn't go off. That is rough. Okay, I'm going to heal wounds. And I probably just need this last turn for the teleport to go off. It could take me somewhere terrible. In fact, I kind of deserve for it to take me somewhere terrible, if we're being honest with ourselves. I'm going to heal wounds one last time. Never didn't have it. Hell yeah, brother. Ooh-ee. Okay, well, I'm curious, like, is the shillelagh fallen off at all? Don't really have a much improved replacement, I guess, so might be still just an academic question to be asking ourselves at this point. Not especially functional. But let's see, Boots of Rampaging. How does this work with our built-in Rampage? Guess we're gonna find out potentially. Oh, Thorn Hunter, come on, man. Okay, it does allow a double step. That's pretty sweet. It's not quite 7 league boots, but we're at like 3 league boots right now. That's pretty sweet. It's at least interesting. Okay, I'm gonna run away hopefully before too many of the Naga haste up. So then we can kind of split this fight into a much more manageable encounter. Back, there we go. No haste. Sorry, suckers. I am just getting the heck out of Dodge. Take me away. Holy moly. This is a good combo for trying to stab as a kobold too. That was my very first experience with Wu Jian. I guess first, like, successful experience. Probably is the more accurate one. I don't recall. But in the Great Player series for our kobold character, we were a stabber of Wu Jian, and yeah, it was pretty sweet for sure. That was how we managed to one-shot the Royal Jelly, is we just Serpent Slashed to step into the fray and immediately get off the backstab for free, and it was indeed awesome. But okie dokie, that was Snake 3. What the hell, man? This mini swamp threw me for a loop that felt as arduous and troublesome as the Snake 4 for sure. Sarian? Oh, you're hasted. I should have probably been more wary of that, except you fool. You've fallen for the classic blunder. Little bit of tambourine action is all it takes. Beautiful. I haven't won with Dwarf. Am I still a great player? That's always the question whenever any of these rotate, right? Like Coglin has been brought in, so internet stats wise, I fell off, but I guess great player has always been a little bit of a misnomer when it came to my play anyway. So never quite felt fitting. Oh my gosh, McGlottle, what the heck are you doing here, buddy? If you corrupt and bring in summons, I guess I want to be on the stairs to get the heck out of here. Oh, I need to remember I have Quicksilver too. When we're being chased by a bunch of like hasted Sons of Guns, probably a decent time for a bit of Quicksilver action. Can I blow your mind to start? Oh, you pushed us off the stairs. That would also do it. That also reduces the chances of us getting out of here and away from your summons. But regardless, no problem dealing with McGlottle at the end of the day there. So, ooh boy. We have fun here, don't we? But we can dash in. Oh, teleport trap in Snake 4 is really bad. Okay, nope. Get me out, coach. If I can maybe kill something on my way, that's grand and all. But, okay, perfect. I did not want to be there, though. Still not at all worth it in the long run. I guess the other side benefit is we've done a bit of an accidental, as I usually call it, the hornet's nest strategy. Get in there, shake it up, and then they all scatter to the 5 winds. Okay, there we go. Lots of salamanders, hey? That's what we have to look forward to in our lives. I think we'll just try to cheese this out as much as we possibly can. If you kiddos want to just keep coming to me, that would be great. Yeah, even as they start to ramp up. Oh, geez. We are in trouble. Do you know what? I kind of want both of you, but you'll have to do, my friend. And then if you could just head off that direction. I heard that there might be something for you to do there, and we get the heck out of here. Hell yeah. The classic blunder of classic combat tactics, overlooking the opponent's tambourine. You fool. You've fallen for the third greatest blunder. Just falling just shy of starting to land war in Asia and betting with a Sicilian when death is on the line. The little known third one is, of course, never underestimate your opponent's tambourine. Fantastic. We just poly him. Now that I probably should have been checking out. Again, I'm so bad for using polymorph. They're like a very few situations that it is my default, such as Nessos. Running into Nessos, immediately should think of polymorph. It's one of the few uniques that has very terrible willpower, and so you can get away with it. And of course, in their centaur form, by far their most dangerous attribute is their bow. So make them drop that, even if you're turning them into something that's otherwise sketchy, which isn't even actually really a factor. Because again, the reason why they have low willpower is because they have low hit dice. I guess they don't even really have willpower, right? It is a hit dice thing, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But because they're low hit dice, it means that Nessos also transforms into hot garbage. So, not a problem to polymorph that son of a gun. Anything else, I'm usually a little reticent to jump too far on board with that. At least until, confirming or denying how much risk it will throw us into. Garden Serpent, please chill. Everyone chill and just fold like a wet pack of cards. Please and thank you. I appreciate it. Son of a gun. How dare you? Okay, second snake, not quite as fast as the first. And we're able to heal up real quick, so that's wonderful. This is usually the end that's full of just a bunch of loose snakes. Does look to be the case. I have a bit of flight. I mean, regardless, we stand by the lava. This makes the Guardian Serpent much less efficient. In fact, in this configuration, there are only 2 spots they could even bring allies into, so that is fantastic. Few more slots now, but we're still fine, it seems. All in all, just keep murdering like one does. Perfect. Again, Snake 4 compared to Snake 3, Walk in the Park. I would much prefer this any day of the week to the Swamp Nightmare we saw there. It's funny because Swamp usually isn't that high up on my overall risk assessment chart. But turns out this character, I was not well suited for it, and it was almost detrimental to our continued survival. But hey, almost only counts in horror moves and hand grenades. Welp. I guess that's our 2 runes sorted here. We also started early today, so I'm definitely getting to the cusp of log off time here. So computer's finished updating, so let me just bring up all my stream stuff here once more. Once more with gumption. And I guess what else could we do? It's just straight into vaults, depths kind of territory here. We're doing okay for our resistances. 19 AC is not great with only 11 evasion. In fact, now that I think about it, why am I not training and dodging? I'm wearing relatively light armor because the egos on it are so powerful. Silly old me. We hit that bullseye, the rest of these dominoes fall like a house of cards. Checkmate. Hell yeah. But who's my favorite race god combo? Yours is Genie Conjurer, and your favorite god is Fedhas. Ooh, I like hearing favorite god Fedhas. I feel like that's a rarity out there. My favorite god, almost regardless of background, is probably Gozag. I'm a big greed is good boy, but what is my favorite like race background combination? I go back and forth. Formicid Hunter has risen through those ranks very quickly in the last like 5 versions of the game. So that's definitely up there. I don't know, Demon Spawn Conjurer is also very high on my list because, I mean, Conjurer I do think is fundamentally just one of the best starts. The starting spellbook can carry you until the end of the game. Like Fulminant Prism is still valid. Not preferred, but still kind of valid, even in Zot. You know, I always think back to, we had a Genie run where we got no offensive spells, the entire Genie run. So in Zot, we were killing Orbs of Fire with Fulminant Prisms. It took a lot to do, and fortunately, what we lacked in destructive capabilities, we made up for in pure utility. And, you know, having like Bjornir's Reviv, having Death's Door, all of those let us duke it out to the death with otherwise fairly lackluster spells on our end. But yeah, Conjurer is definitely up there. And again, I'm a sucker for Demon Spawn Conjurers because I like Mega Ziggurat characters and I like the randomness of mutations. It adds a little bit of flair and gives you something to work with as you make your way through the dungeon in a really kind of interesting, fun way, at least in my perspective here. Green Jesus. Safid, have you heard? Have you heard the news? Unfortunately, Green Jesus is... Well, actually, let's take this as a matter of perspective. Either, unfortunately, Green Jesus is no longer really a thing because Hillark was removed, or, let's flip that on its head, Green Jesus is in all of us now because anyone can become the Messiah. In fact, we had the option on this run to become the Messiah because we got low health against an early Orc Priest. So, you know, things could have gone another direction. We would have been the not-so-green Jesus. Most goblins. Green Jesus still. Never mind. It still checks out. In fact, I like my new headcanon. Oh, I need to play a Coglin of BO. You're a goblin wearing an Orc-themed exosuit. So as far as all your followers concerned, you are the true Orc Messiah, but you're actually just a little guy in there. It's very much, it gives 3 kids in a trench coat energy, which I love. Octopo Delver, ooh, you like to live dangerously? Hey, anyone who enjoys restarting runs and just dying like 9 out of 10 times, there you go. Perfect option for you. Octopo Delver, got your back. Oh me, oh my. Megahertz the Evocator. Interesting. Well, that's the thing about Coglins, is nobody knows what they do, but it's provocative, you know? Well, I'm now just in a very chatty mood, which, you know, not necessarily a bad thing. I enjoyed just going off my rocker into whatever kind of tangential delves my brain decides to traverse us down. But sitting at about the 3-hour mark. It's always an issue of like, do I want to get into the end game? I'll get a couple crumbs, but I won't get to sink my teeth in with the time that we have left here today. So with that in mind, we might actually wrap this up. We'll do any final kind of housekeeping, double check our shopping list, see if there's anything else we want to change here. And then we might have to save this one for the future. I know, I'm so torn on this. I started early because I knew I'd want a little bit more time to, you know, speaking of sinking my teeth in, to experience a bit more of the new update. We haven't even touched on mountain dwarves yet. I got way too tunnel vision into Coglin, which I'm happy about because this run has been awesome. Shoutouts, big shoutouts to Shillelagh all the way up in, where did we find you? Oh, D11. That's actually not as early as I was expecting. I thought you carried us through the entirety of the run, but really it's just most of the run. But regardless, it's been a really fun one. I'm liking the new update here for the most part. Of course, a lot of that will be dependent in the future on trying out new spells. Who want what? Manifold Assault might make its way back up to being my favorite spell for so long. That was the be-all end-all, the spell I wanted on every caster character. But it fell off pretty hard in one of the, I think it was just the last update in 0.31. So I'm excited to see it brought up a bit, as well as being raised to level 7 makes it a bit more interesting. So that will be, you know, very curious to experiment with. And some of the god changes. I think McLeod we did get a victory with, right? Furiously consults spreadsheet. McLeod, yes, we did get a victory with. So won't really get to see their fancy new things, but Ured I saw on the list there. And I've been saying now for months and months that I wanted to do a mummy necromancer, or at least a focused necromancer run. So we have that to look forward to. We can raise the black torch of Ured and see how things have changed there. Potentially, what I'm shifting to, as much as I want to try out a mummy necromancer for the thematics of it all, mountain dwarves. For anyone who hasn't played any of the new update here, I can give a brief little rundown on them. They can enchant any weapon and armor, not on rand arts, I guess, but even artifacts, just regular random artifacts, they can enchant. So that's intriguing to me. But the bigger thing that I like, their spellcasting modifier from heavy armor is halved. So, Mountain Dwarf Necromancer? Seems like it would be pretty sick. Necromancy's already pretty solid from a hybrid perspective because it has a lot of like auxiliary spells built into it, more utility, even if it is given firepower. So I think a Mountain Dwarf Necromancer could be fun. We can see if we can even slap on some plate armor and still be casting like up to level 3, level 4 spells. Who's to say? That will be something that we'll, I guess, look forward to in the future, because Megahertz here, of course, never dying, and we're going to go all the way next week when we come back and jump back in, continue the run, finish it off, and see where that brings us. But yeah, overall, very positive thoughts on this update. I like a lot of the little changes, the construction changes, even though we haven't, I don't know, seeing a lot of the breadth that update has brought. Just the fact that it's a bit more cut and dry. Blinks are all powerful. I think that's something that I hope never really changes in the game. Blink scrolls being as rare as they are, but as powerful and useful as they are for escaping. You know, it's so rare that you're in a situation where it doesn't rescue you outright. So I'm happy that that has been kind of reinforced, that aspect of them. I think that's pretty sweet. And yeah, good things all around. Coglin, I really like. It's a fascinating species. Trading out the ring and necklace slot for the gizmo, and I'm very stoked for potential future runs, seeing what all this can bring up. I mean, even just this gadget here, my tambourine is recharging at absurd rates. I need a few more of these rechargeable things, and we will be to the moon and back, and likely be able to wrap up this run with a little less stress than we did at the start here. But of course, all that will have to wait for next week. I do, of course, also appreciate all of you lovely folks for joining us, you know, chatting alongside about the new updates and various things. If you're just lurking in the background, or hey, if you're watching this down the road through the VODs on YouTube or Twitch, then thanks for joining us. I hope you're enjoying the new content here, whether you're playing it yourself or you're just watching us kind of experience it in real time here. But should continue to be a good time to keep, you know, exploring it all and all that good stuff. So, I guess all that to say that we should do the usual routine here. Try to see if there's anyone online to send a raid to, especially if we have someone in DCSS still. Does not look to be the case, but we do still have an option here. Good old Ari Buns is online streaming. Highly recommend sticking around, saying hello. Always a good time over that direction. Great community, great streamer in general, and yeah, thanks again for joining us. Before I do any official sign up, I guess I should actually get that queued up so I don't end up just awkwardly twiddling my thumbs here while we wait for everything. Oh, hi, Mark. Like the stream title, Ari. But let us get that queued up, and yeah, thanks again for all your help here, and we'll see what else the new update brings to bear in the future. But of course, regardless of all the fantastic new content here, I do hope that you're having a great morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you out there, and I definitely hope to see you next week when we jump back in with Megahertz here. And maybe, just maybe, we get our first Coglin victory, get a victory under Wu Jian as well. It'll be a whole onslaught of firsts there. Just remember, folks, whenever, even for a moment, even despite my inherent desire to run my exosuit into the ground, didn't have it. I'll see you soon.